Okay, this is a serious one this morning that I want to talk about. You know, people are so afraid of Trump if he gets into power again. Now, I am not nearly as worried about Trump if he got back into power as I am about Mike Johnson. And here's why. Mike Johnson, if you know anything about his background, he is basically Christian Taliban mentality. He wants to really go back not to what Jesus was teaching, and this is coming out of these Christian, radical, national white Christian movement. These ones that have abdicated, they've thrown out anything that Christ was teaching, and they are really, what is it they always focus on? Old Testament. They want to go back to slavery. Slavery was in the Old Testament. They want to go back to, if they could get rid of LGBTQ people, they would, not only outlaw them, they would have them murdered. I mean, this is how serious these people actually are. He puts on his best face, and his best face that he shows the public is totally caustic. Now, what's really behind there is even more degraded, and they want to go back to Old Testament, okay? Murders and all of the things that were going on, that Yeshua ben Joseph, or Jesus, came to reform, okay? But they don't want that. Some of those so-called evangelical churches and the ones that they have out there have preaching greed, money, power. They said when they taught the Sermon on the Mount, they go, "Why are you bringing those liberal ideas in here? We don't want that." Well, they threw Christ out of the church, basically. These are radicalized people. And make no mistake, he's only a couple steps away from president, okay? Now, if they did not run Trump, something happened. If they ran Mike Johnson, that is somebody who would really damage America. No holds barred. They would try to make this country a religious Taliban Christian, so-called Christian, and there's nothing Christian about it at all, Taliban movement, white nationalist Christian, okay? As toxic as you can get. Now, we see already that one woman had lost her child. She had a spontaneous abortion at home. She lost it, and they are charging her with a crime, okay? They're charging her with a crime. So the one that I really look at and is way more detrimental than Trump is Mike Johnson, okay? Yeah, there is no low these ones will not stoop to. And they are aggressive. They are, anybody that put Trump on a pedestal, and you get the MAGA crowd or the other ones, they will tell you they're goats. They're not sheep. Who's the goat? The goat-headed one is Satan, okay? They're goats. That's who they put on the pedestal. Money, power, okay? They're not for people. They're not for programs. We don't want programs to feed children. I want to know there's an outcome for it. These people are radical. They're deep, they're dark, and unfortunately, they use the name of Christ and the face of Christ as a mask because they know nothing about Christ. Everything they do is 180 degrees away from Christ. If Christ came back today, they would be the first ones to try to put him up on the cross again, okay? So Mike Johnson is the one that I see could really be run as president, and he is the most dark element, one of the darkest elements out there, as to what he would do to this country. Now, they've been working on setting up the justice system, overturn Roe versus Wade, and putting the most caustic things in that they can do. Okay, they have an agenda. And they have been working it for a long time. These are the ones to really keep your eyes on. Trump is going to be gone, okay? He's a criminal, that you can see. Mike Johnson doesn't even have a bank account that you can point to. Okay, this guy is really toxic, and he is someone to keep an eye on. So let's see, what can you tell me about this situation? At the center of it, yeah, they are somebody that wants to use the letter of the law. Okay, they want to go back to Old Testament letter of the law. Christ is here teaching the spirit of the law. They want the letter of the law. You do this, you die. Okay. So above it, they don't like the harvest. They don't like what's happening now. Okay. They want to make the changes. Foundation is they are outside of church, okay? They are out in the cold. These are people to be feared. They keep saying that they are the church. They are, but they are 100% outside of the church. They have really nothing to do with genuine Christianity. They are Christians in name only. I mean, we had Handy Bobert out there. We see her actions talking in church about the wonton killings. I mean, these are people, they're radical, and it's nonsense, the stuff that they will put there. Okay, so what's crossing it are the message of his actions. Watch out for the message about his actions, okay? Because he is 100% one that would push for the letter of the law and the Old Testament, okay? In the past, things moved rapidly. Actions. What's going on now? Okay, we've got the star card. This is, again, this narcissistic element. But, again, not going to the higher things. They want to say they're going to the higher things. It's Christianity, but it's not. It's a Taliban type of mentality. Argumentative, okay? Struggling with that, yeah. There it is. That dark element is what they want to bring in. Old Testament toxicity, which is where they are really chained to. What's crossing it is King of Pentacles. This is really what he is holding to underneath the surface. This very toxic mentality of, actually, it's demonic what they are doing. It's absolutely demonic because it doesn't come from the love and light of Christ and giving and expanding and making better. It's about repression. It's about hate. It's about that toxicity. What do we have? Again, we have the uber right, the guy and his wife, and she was it the Moms for Liberty or Moms of America? I don't know which one it was. But here they're engaging in threesomes. And they're preaching about how, moral they are and moral high ground. And he just got charged with raping this woman. These are so hypocritical elements and toxic that are out there. And unfortunately, this is what the Bible is saying in the end times. These are wolves hiding in sheep's clothing, okay? Inside, they are raging wolves and want to, he tries to make himself look so innocuous that I'm just such a clean Christian man, But make no mistake, underneath of that, this is the element that we have going. They want to keep people chained, okay? They want to control, okay? And he will do everything he could to put that in motion. The challenge is, him trying to get away with this stuff. They've got all these ideas that they want to push, okay? Outcome is distanced. They're walking the dark trail. They have distanced themselves from emotion, from genuine Christian emotion, etc. They walk away from it, walk away from the true teachings. We need to be aware of his history, okay? Because mentally tied up, mentally, they want to, again, repress people. So what's crossing it is, again, Seven of Swords, again, wanting to get away with this, wanting to repress, wanting to turn this country into a white nationalist, anti-Christian. Now, this is what I've said for a long time. People say, oh, the Antichrist, the Antichrist. Well, this is an Antichrist movement. Now, this does not mean that every evangelical church is Antichrist, but a majority of them are. They are now for wealth, power, money, Old Testament. You never see them preaching what Christ was talking. It's always Old Testament, fire, brimstone, hate, judgment. That's what they're about every single time they open their mouth. What is a verse they give? Old Testament for what they're doing. They have turned their back on Christ. These are ones that when they get to the other side, they're going to go, well, didn't we preach in your name? Didn't we heal in your name? Didn't we do this in your name? Get away from me. I never knew you. This is what they're going to find on the other side. Because, again, what's crossing it is the message of the actions they want to do, what they are holding on to, what they are promoting and trying to get away with. That's what's crossing everything he's doing. Above it, they don't like the harvest. They don't like the way things are, so they're argumentative, and we need to be mindful of the history of these people. The foundation is they are outside of church. They have left the church. For what? For the dark powers. To what? Restrict people. Restrict their actions, restrict their mentality. With these dark elements. They want power. They want control. And they have used what? They use ones like 45, etc. And they want to say they're preaching the higher things when they are not. They are narcissistic people wanting to get away with this because they have left the teachings of Christ, distanced themselves from compassion. They have no compassion. They have nothing but power and greed, and the letter of the law is what they want to instill and institute. So the one that really needs to be watched, it's not Trump, it's Mike Johnson. Now, if they put him up as the candidate instead of Trump, that's something that you really, really need to be mindful of, because that is the dark trying to overtake the light. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to see if I can find a link that I really urge you to watch about this white nationalist Christian things, the evangelical movement. This the guy that's talking about it was raised in it. His father was very big in this whole movement. And what he has to say is really, really important. I urge you to watch it. I just got to find it again. So thanks for tuning in. This is not to put the mode of fear in people, but it's about be aware of what's out there. This is something I've seen for a long time. Once like Pat Robertson, nasty, nasty, nasty person this guy was. So many of these behind the scenes, disgusting, nasty people, and they go with it that they are such Christian lights in the community. And they were just so absolutely toxic. Yeah, we're in end times, that's for sure. And this is something that I have seen coming for some time. And like I said, the Antichrist is a movement. It's not just a single person. But if you wanted to put somebody up there as Antichrist, I wouldn't say Trump. He's a low-level cadre. Mike Johnson, that's one. That's one that really has the mentality of Antichrist. Yeah. Trump is just a criminal, okay? He's a fraud, he's a con, he's not religious, he doesn't care. Holds a Bible upside down. He can't name one verse. But Mike Johnson, he can twist and turn, and yeah. He's somebody to really keep your eye on. So I'm going to leave this here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you online.